Hey everybody, welcome to the Backstage Slam episode number 189. Wow, we've been doing this for a little while. I am Josh, joined tonight by Anna.
What's up?
And we're here to talk everything that happened. Well, I keep saying everything. It's never everything. It's things always get left out. So we're going to talk about some things that happened, it's just going to be wrestling. So we're going to talk about wrestling-related things for the next such and such amount of time. And no, it's not going to be just what happened this week because we're still feeling some of the fallout from last week's news, which nobody else was able to really chime in on. So I'm hoping to get Anna's thoughts on some of the firings at some point tonight. You're probably wondering right now, where's Ben? Did Hawaii just lose all capability for internet? Have they been sent back to the Stone Age? Kinda. But that's not why Ben's not here. Ben has come down with something. He's kind of sick right now. I don't, he wasn't very clear whether or not he thought it was, COVID or something. But I just know that he's feeling like crap. And we, here on the air, wish him a speedy recovery because that is what we do when one of our brothers is down for the count. So, Ben, get better quick. It's been a minute since you've been on the show, and, it'd be nice to have the whole gang on the show. But if you want to reach out and give Ben some good old proppers, some mad props, and maybe show a little bit of support in his time of sickness, you can hit him up on Twitter at YoBroMMO, just like you can hit me up on Twitter at SkidComic. And believe it or not, you can hit Anna up on Twitter at Catwoman13618. If you like watching video game play, that's something Ben does when he's feeling good. So go to YoBroMMO on Twitch. And, check out the YoBroMMO Lives cast. And, of course, as soon as I say this, he turns me into a liar. But I'm just going to keep on plugging away. I also have a Twitch channel, SkidComic. Look it up. I'm SkidComic everywhere. But if you do have $1 or $2 to, spare every month, it would go a long way to making our dreams come true. Over here at the Backstage Slam, go to the Patreon, patreon.com/YoBroMMO. You might be sensing a theme here. Alrighty. The plugs, they're out of the way. And where is everybody? So here we are, episode 189. Everybody say hello if you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Hey, what's up?
Jeez, Ben.
Oh my god, hi Ben.
Hello.
I was just saying such awfully nice things about you. No, I was telling everybody that you weren't here tonight because you aren't feeling well, and asked them to, tweet at you for some support.
Had the flu and fever for like the last 6 days, and I think it's starting to come down. At least the flu part, but right now I'm at 102.2.
Dang.
That's why I was like earlier today. I was like, ask me later and see if I feel better or not. But I'll stick around maybe for like 15-20 minutes or so. But yeah, it's not good. My whole house is sick.
Oh, that's not gravy. There's is there enough soup on the island to
oh my god,
get everybody better?
I think we have like about 80 pounds of Campbell's soup.
Well, I'm just going to say right now, it's good to hear your voice. Even our outside of the show contact has been very limited because of Hawaii being Hawaii and internet. As I've explained, as you've explained on this show so many times, anytime it starts sprinkling, the internet just starts acting up. It's a wonder anybody can do anything at all from, paradise.
Spectrum has been doing some infrastructure upgrades over here on my island, and they've been doing maintenance over the last, I guess, 15 days or so. So I have had no internet for the past 2 Saturdays and Sundays. And then I just had to happen to get sick with the rest of the family when I was actually attempting to make my podcast come back this week. But I'm still here, even though I'm sick.
Well,
it's nice to finally meet you, Ben.
Nice to finally meet you, too.
Well, now that you two are here, if you listen to episode number 188, it was a big week for news because of all the people that were released. So let's go back in time for a minute. Now that it's not just, yours truly spouting off my uneducated opinions. Let's start off with Ben. What did you think about the releases from last week?
I think I posted this on Twitter, and I also said something on Discord. I wasn't as much as shocked at all of the releases because it was pretty much on time with what they've been doing for years. It just so happens that along with the coronavirus, this list of WWE doing their yearly house cleaning after WrestleMania happened to be 3 times bigger than it normally is. And for all intents and purposes, from what I've read in my sickbed, that there could be some more people being let go. So that one was pretty shocking to me. It wasn't so much as the names. I do have my subjective opinions on it, but I don't want to spend half an hour debating everything like I usually do. So the quickest way I'll say this is about 3/4 of the people on the list have had trouble with WWE as of late, or have done something to draw the ire of WWE management in some way, shape, or form. So for me, this list is heavily predicated on performance base, as well as what types of trouble or controversy that individuals have brought to light in the past. There's a couple of head scratchers in there too, but all in all, I say that the thing is, it's not WWE that's really making me scratch my head. It's everybody else. The fact that WWE is the only big wrestling company that has actually had to go public with the amount of people that they had to let go, it's pretty shocking. So right now, I'm kind of stuck in a mindset or situational thinking of, did COVID-19 really have a big effect on WWE on top of who they were going to originally let go of their original list of what they usually do every single year?
Their list usually isn't that long.
Yeah. And if so, why hasn't any other wrestling company, have not made a public list of people that they would have to part ways with or not? But at the same time, again, playing devil's advocate, there's no other company as large or with a robust of employees that World Wrestling Entertainment has. They have by far an embarrassment of riches, so to speak. That's a term that I like to steal from Josh from time to time. And so that's why I'm not as to, we can't blame the coronavirus and everything, because if it was really that, then why aren't other wrestling companies letting 5 to 10 people go It all comes down to circumstances. It just so happens that this year's list is like 3 times bigger than it normally is. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that. It is to my delight that a couple of people that are getting released will find their way potentially to a place that will be to their advantage. For instance, I don't want to go into deep because I don't know if you guys have planned to talk about this, but 2 of the Bullet Club OGs, Gallows and Anderson, have confirmed that they are going back to New Japan Pro Wrestling and are probably reuniting with the Bullet Club. And Rusev is at the top of the recruiting list for All Elite Wrestling. So I'm very, very looking forward to that.
As well he should be.
Yeah.
Rusev always found a way to get himself over. Now, as far as, being surprised at the people that were released last week, I did mention that one of the surprising aspects, talking about Gallows and Anderson, is the fact that last year they signed new 5-year contracts. So that was one of the head-scratching parts. They do their spring cleaning every year, but when someone is so new into a new contract, isn't that unusual?
Yeah, I think like 6-7 people that got released, they all had their contracts restructured last year. And it was heavily rumored that Cesaro would also be on that list as well. But he's still sticking around.
He's getting a pretty big push right now, isn't he?
I think so. I think he's nearing the end of his contract, to be honest. I think he has a year left or less than a year left. I'll have to go and check on that.
So they could be just kind of getting him in a mindset of, hey, maybe it's time to resign, man. Yeah, let's get.
I know Cody wants. I know Cody wants Claudio to come over to AEW for sure.
Everybody should. The guy's a beast. Just too bad he's too Swiss. Anna,
yes.
How do you feel about the people that were released?
There were a few that I didn't even realize were still employed by the company because I haven't seen them in ages.
That's fair.
But there's others, like Sarah Logan had just been on Monday night.
Yeah.
And she's still fairly new and fairly popular, so that didn't make any sense.
And still fairly married to another one of the talents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of the Viking warriors, Viking raiders, Viking something.
One of the members of War Machine. I don't care what anybody says. It's still the best name.
But the ones that upset me besides Sarah was Gallows and Anderson. And even more so now that I fell down several rabbit holes in like the last week. One of them being that road trip show that they have on the network.
Oh, God. I mean, do tell.
It's great. It's freaking hilarious.
Depending on who's on it, yeah.
I watched like all but 2 of them. And they were hilarious. I think my favorite ones were like Team Little Big. I absolutely love Alexa Bliss and Braun Strowman in anything at this point.
They were certainly a good matchup, good pairing. But
their table for 3 was great too.
Anna,
yes.
I'm going to give you 60 seconds, okay? And I know last week I gave my little review on Fight Like a Girl and the main event, the Netflix show from WWE the Netflix movie from WWE Studios. So I'm going to give you 60 seconds starting in now about that other show you've been watching.
Oh, Total Divas? It took us all of 2 episodes to be completely trapped in this rabbit hole. And we were yelling at the TV. And we spent like 3 days yelling at the TV. We still have like 7.5 seasons to go, and then we're gonna deep dive into Total Bellas.
Okay, then at this point, who are you eyeballing? Who are the ones that are really catching your eye?
On Total Divas?
Yeah.
Well, season 1 and 2 is way back when like the Funkadactyls were still a thing and Brodus was still on. It was like way back. But I think I wanted to punch Natty's then boyfriend in the face about 4 times because dude dumb. Dude is legit dumb.
All right, time's up. So
Moving
on.
Thanks. Leave it on that note.
Ben, you might have heard over the last week or so that the announced teams are under orders to not mention Roman Reigns. There have been, insidious rumors that Vince McMahon is upset because he backed out of WrestleMania. And then, of course, there's the contention of people that are saying, no, nobody's upset with Roman Reigns. He's still, poster boy, but it's not good to have him around right now. And they're just kind of going by the adage, absence makes the heart grow fonder. So if you don't mention him, when he does show up again, it'll be a huge deal. So what are your thoughts?
My thoughts is simply this. We are currently facing a worldwide pandemic that has not yet been declared or have reached the levels of human extinction. But so far, overall, the planet, every single country has done the best that it possibly can to keep it from getting that way. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't seem to care, as they're still going to beaches and whatnot, and they don't actually take this as a serious threat. So a lot of people that are upset at Roman Reigns, or the people that are not upset at Roman Reigns, everybody has the right to think and feel the way that they want. My opinion is simply this. Based on what's going on in the world, if you know for a fact that a certain individual, for whatever reason, is potentially, how do I word this correctly without sounding condescending? If you have a potential health issue, for instance, like Roman Reigns, I'm just going to use a couple of examples. Roman Reigns, who recently has had his second bout with leukemia, went through chemotherapy. His immune system is very susceptible to the virus, which makes him a very high-risk person at contracting the virus. Same thing can be said for Kyle O'Reilly of the Undisputed Era. A lot of people don't realize this, but he's been off of TV for a long time. Why? Because he is susceptible to getting the coronavirus more than healthy people. A lot of people don't know this. Kyle O'Reilly is diabetic. So
I did not know that.
So that's why he's been MIA. That's why the storylines with Undisputed Era are taking the turn that it is now. That makes a little bit of, makes very little sense whatsoever. A lot of people have to take the situations that they see on WWE TV, and they can't say, they can't change everything because of the coronavirus because it's not real. But then people have to accept the reality is this isn't a common thing. Especially in this day and age, in the modern age, we haven't not had a worldwide pandemic like this for years. So it is not a common thing. It is very different, and people just need to pull their head out of their butts and take this more serious and just roll with the punches. I mean, me, I'm not enjoying wrestling as a product overall. Like me personally, I can't stand having crowdless wrestling shows. It for me, it is a bother to me because I find it's a pet peeve for me. It feels like my sense of should I say my escapism from reality is gone. I don't feel involved in pro wrestling, and the reason why I still watch it is because I love it. So right now, wrestling is not good. Not just WWE, but all around is suffering. But people just need to realize that all of this is not the best that it possibly can be, because you can't really ignore what's going on in the world and sometimes you just got to do the best that you can, even though you're not at your best. And in WWE's case, their top superstars and a lot of people that are not healthy 100%, or they have some type of health issue that would make them contract the coronavirus a lot easier than the rest of the people on their roster. They have to stay home, and the product is suffering around that, and they're doing the best that they can to work around it. And that's just my opinion on it.
Now, you mentioned the WWE, and in fact all events are holding shows without audiences. It's been like that for almost 2 months now, right? It got
I think
over a month
6 weeks
at
around
least.
there.
So the next question I'm going to ask the group is this: the WWE had their Q1 quarter one financial conference call, and let me see if I can get the exact quote. Okay, but at least it's paraphrased. Okay, Vince said he isn't sure if WWE will be in the live event business as they were before. They are ready if it's allowed. He feels it'll take a while for consumers to come out and cram into a 70,000-seater stadium, but if anybody can figure it out, it's them. Vince feels it will be more content-oriented, perhaps not live events, but more digital and social media. It's a creative environment, and they took it as an opportunity. Amber, are you there?
Yep.
What do you think about Vince McMahon saying something like this, that it might not be catering to the live crowds like they used to?
You got to get innovative sometimes. People watch Facebook Live. Crap happen all the time. You could throw something up on YouTube. There are other avenues in order for people to get live content. It just might not be live in an arena. Still pissed, by the way.
All right, Anna, what are your thoughts?
I'm kind of torn because, I didn't realize how much, the crowd actually affected things until I started seeing it without a crowd, and then I'm like, oh, okay. But as far as, cramming into a stadium or whatever, I've got tickets that were moved from this past weekend in November, and if the show goes on, my butt's going to be in my seat.
I think who knows what's going to be like in November. Ben, I'm
still going to Georgia, whether or not the show goes on. So,
well, of course you are, Anna. You have reasons to go.
Yes, I do. Hush.
Okay, Ben, you know that Vince isn't saying this is going to be the new normal. As far as, God, I've come to grow to hate that term, the new normal. I'll never even watch that show now because of it. But now, with the way things are, they're taking a more creative approach, and we'll get to that in just a second as it regards Money in the Bank. But what do you think Vince really means when he's saying we're not going to be doing live like we used to?
I think it's a stall tactic because they don't really know what they're doing, and let's be frank here, nobody knows what's going to happen. I don't think it's predicated just on WWE. I think it's all live events. It doesn't matter. Entertainment, sports. We pretty much have to wait and see. And if this whole thing gets contained, and the government just starts to decide, hey, let's start getting things back to normal. We'll start rolling out. We'll stop these curfews. We start rolling out plans to get back to the way things normally are. We don't know how live attendance is and all that stuff is going to be until everything starts going, whether it's concerts, the NFL. Like right now, we don't know. Like I'm a huge football fan. Right now, the NFL and the college football season, look, they're going to be starting up at the end of August. NFL preseason at the beginning of August. They don't know. They are planning to go for sure, but right now, they don't see any football going on as the summer starts, which is kind of scary. But they're making contingency plans to adjust just in case the coronavirus gets worse throughout the summer. So basically, I think it's a stall tactic because I'm biased. Like, I have a negative bias against Vince McMahon, but in all fairness, no major business corporation for holding live events can actually give a realistic statement. Hey, if the president doesn't know what he's doing and what he's talking about, and he's got other people giving him answers, then you can't. I can't really give an objective opinion on something that is so widespread.
Okay, that's a good answer. Now we're gonna roll on to Money in the Bank. I did not watch all of Raw or SmackDown this week. I gotta be honest. I have been dragging my feet with WWE program minus NXT. NXT is always fun, but Money in the Bank is coming up, and we already heard about the change to the match itself. It's no longer just ladders to get.
They've already taped some of the matches for that, and it got spoiled.
Say again?
They already taped some of the matches for that pay-per-view, and it got spoiled already.
What?
Yeah, two or three of the matches, and how the actual Money in the Bank match itself already got spoiled.
Okay, last week I speculated that Money in the Bank would be another one of the, like a Boneyard match or Firefly Funhouse match. Does that appear to be the case?
Well, here's what was sent to me in the DMs. I can't stop people from doing that, since they like listening to us for some godforsaken reason. But
we're hilarious.
To my dismay, from what I've read, the Money in the Bank is going to be taking place in a very precarious manner. It's actually going to be not at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, but at WWE headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut. The match will start from the ground level, and the actual Money in the Bank briefcase is all the way up on the roof of the building.
Yeah.
And the match will have to fight its way from the bottom level all the way up to the top of the building. How they're going to do that? The best way I can think of is if it's shot cinematically, like we saw with those two weird matches at WrestleMania.
Okay, that's exactly the way I thought it was.
The result wasn't spoiled, but the setup and the behind the scenes video shooting and all of that, it's already on there.
Yeah,
out there.
I don't think it's a spoiler to say that the photos from the rooftop are out there. So if you feel like looking at what is going to be a very interesting situation beforehand, you can easily find those.
You know what I want? Do you remember some of the WWE commercials for Sports Center, where they usually have a WWF or WWE wrestlers, do like their old Sports Center bits?
Yeah.
I want them to shoot this Money in the Bank ladder match by doing a parody of almost every single Sports Center shot. Especially in the women's match where they have, like how Becky punches the vending machine and stuff like that, or who's that one? I think it's Mick Foley where he jumps off of a ladder and lands on top of a guy in a cubicle. I want to see stuff like that implemented in this match as they're making their way from the bottom floor to the roof.
I was thinking
How
more,
big is the building?
I think it's like 12 stories.
It's not a skyscraper by any means.
Yeah, it's not that big.
But it is certainly, well,
It's like 3 times the size of the VA building in South Carolina.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay, Amber, I know that when we talked about WrestleMania at length a few weeks ago, you were not as big a fan of some of these cinematic things. So how would you feel if Money in the Bank turns into a cinematic match where it's shot more like, a short film or a short action film?
I see that actually being the case. Some of it's already been pre-shot from my understanding, and, a lot of coming out of the elevator nonsense, and I think that's exactly how it's going to be.
But are you looking forward to it? Are you anticipating this, or do you think
I'm going to
you'll
watch
like it just as much?
Because, but I'm not going to like it.
How about you, Anna? Do you think you'll be into this new style?
It depends on how it's done. Because I liked the Undertaker's match. I did not like the John Cena match. If they could find a happy medium between the two, maybe it'll be okay.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to have to worry about any, Firefly fun, any Bray Wyatt shenanigans for Money in the Bank, any mind tricks like that. Should be a pretty straightforward, just action fest as everybody.
I don't know.
He's
messing with Braun Strowman now, so.
Yeah, but Braun's not in the Money in the Bank, so it's all good.
Well, not in the Money in the Bank match itself, no.
Yeah, when it comes to the championship match, I fully expect things to get weird.
You want to know something about this? I hate to interject here, but we're going to see in the next couple of months, the worst championship in the entire company is going to be the Universal Championship, because it's going to be hot potatoed like crazy.
Is that the one Braun has?
Yep.
Oh, but I like Braun.
I don't think he's going to lose to Bray in this next match, pay-per-view, but he will definitely lose the title at the next pay-per-view. I don't see him holding the championship past 60. Maybe maximum 90 days as champion, but I don't see him going a full 2 months as champion.
The thing is, I would like, if he loses it, which obviously he will at some point, I would rather it go to somebody who not necessarily deserves it, but somebody who hasn't had it. Bray's had a belt.
I think Bray got sacrificed at WrestleMania or before WrestleMania to Goldberg for whatever reason. I don't know, but I think he got the shaft.
For some reason,
it shouldn't have happened.
They think Goldberg needs the title to have a spot on the WrestleMania card, which of course is clearly not the case.
Well,
but
they wanted Roman needs to take the belt off of him. But the fact that Roman couldn't go at WrestleMania made that title change all for nothing.
Yeah, basically,
that's my biggest
when
problem.
Roman couldn't compete, it negated everything that was built up to that point. Since Roman couldn't compete, and quite frankly, since there was no crowd anyway, no pop, nothing to be hyped for as far as the result of that match.
Too many
Goldberg
cooks in the
wasn't going to
kitchen.
be working any longer, so there you have it. Braun wins his first Universal Championship by default. It seems
He should have won 2 years ago.
Yeah, I believe who was it that said that on the show?
It's like
They would
my
drop the
honest
ball on
opinion
the
is, like for me, the hype train for Braun Strowman died a year ago. All his momentum was gone.
And that I don't know what else to say other than that it's a shame. But speaking
He
of
should have
shame,
beaten Brock Lesnar back then. That's all I'm gonna say.
speaking of shame, there is a troubling story that came out this week. And I know none of us here are going to point fingers either way or speak definitively on what really happened. But it seems there is an accusation going around that the Velveteen Dream is sending pictures of his Velveteen to Velveteens.
What?
Yeah.
I've been seeing something about that, but I haven't seen any articles or anything about it other than vague booking about pedophiles, and then in the comments it's like, oh, it's Velveteen Dream, and I'm like, dude, I need more than you just saying it, and ain't nobody giving me nothing.
Well, here's the situation. On Instagram, there is a minor that received pictures of somebody's junk from Velveteen's account. That's it in a nutshell. Oh, and there was like a voice file also that said, "What school do you go to?" So they have a picture of junk and they have a voice file, and the teen is saying that it's Velveteen Dream. And of course, Velveteen Dream says that he was hacked. He did not send those photos to minors. Right now, I gotta say, not a good look. Can you say more than that? It's not a good look for anybody involved. And I don't even know what to say. Anna, chime in. Give some thoughts here.
All I know is that there was a Reddit thread that was deleted, and we all know Reddit is a bunch of crap.
Sometimes, yeah.
Most of the time. And the one post I'd been following, he said he had heard the voice clip and it sounded like Velveteen Dream, and I'm still like, no, dude, I need more than that. I'm not all that familiar with Velveteen Dream and who he actually is, but I need more than some kid on some social media platform saying this dude sent me his junk. Because it is possible that he did get hacked.
Yeah, it's possible. And
apparently he's not saying anything more because he's working with a third party to get it taken care of.
Also, what I heard. But what we do know, his account, for sure, sent pictures of a nude man to someone that's underage.
Was his face in it?
Well, I'm not saying I'm looking at,
or is it just
somebody's-
his frontals?
I'm looking at the picture right now, and it's
Josh.
it's covered up.
Naughty boy.
All you see is like from the abs to like the bottom of the thigh, so it's straight up midsection.
junk.
Emphasis on the junk. So no, there's no face in the picture. And by the way, if there was a face in the picture, it's still possible that somebody could have, hacked his phone, taken some personal images, and then sent them out on that account. That it's very
People are
possible.
doing real good at Photoshop or deepfake these days.
Yeah.
Deepfake technology is getting way spooky.
And not only, but I mean, you have a voice clip. Was that all it was just saying, hey, what school do you go to?
That's, from what I heard, that's all it said. I listened to it.
Okay. Okay. So, if it is him, ask, what school do you go to? Well, gee, maybe he's planning to surprise this kid by showing up at school. Look what The Rock did for that girl that asked him to go to prom.
Yeah, but you don't...
It might be
You
creepy
really
if he actually did it without wearing a shirt, and he did it in his character voice and the mannerism of the Velveteen Dream. Then I would have a direct issue with that. Could you imagine? He goes, what school do you go to? I'm like, no, get away. Then yeah,
It's not even so much the being in character thing as much as these two things happening together. Here's my junk. What school do you go to?
I think every single wrestler, whether you're in WWE or not, if you have a verified account, you should have somebody filtering your messages. And yeah, I mean, I've been saying it for a long time.
I will never, ever,
Just
ever,
make sure
ever,
the person that's doing your social media is better than the one that Trump has doing his.
Because isn't it possible, say somebody did hack his account, to send those pictures to a minor, and he would never know the pictures were sent?
That's the story. That's what
So
he's
you
saying.
can do that on
He had no
Instagram
idea.
too, like you can on Facebook.
I'm not the Gram user, so I don't know. I don't use Instagram.
I don't know how Instagram DMs work either. That's why I was asking.
But
If
I
he was
will-
using a Wi-Fi that is not password protected, and that whoever controls that unopened Wi-Fi, and they have the ability to hack into the Wi-Fi and and meter the connections, they would be able to take the MAC address of any individual's device, whether it be a cell phone, laptop, or whatnot, and they would be able to snoop into that person's system and do whatever they want with it. That's how it works.
Oh, wonderful.
Or he let somebody who is very smart and devious with the skills that can do that, and he let that person borrow the phone, and then his personal phone got compromised in that manner, which is usually how it is.
I was gonna say, aren't there apps and stuff that can like stalk your shit?
Yeah.
yeah. No, I'm
So like like when you travel abroad, you know how like especially when you go to Europe and Asia. So
No, I have no
people
idea.
wear
You can tell.
people wear armbands and stuff on them that can scan your credit card barcode through your wallet, through your clothes, through your bag,
Really?
just by getting within proximity of you. To
That's
protect
insane.
that, that's why for like men's wallets, they have these anti-magnetize or ionized wallets, or they call it steel pocketbooks or shells or wallet shells that would protect all your credit cards from being scanned and stuff like that.
and your phone too these
That's
days.
insane.
A lot of people
Yeah.
store their financial information in there. And now that things are using Apple Pay and things where you just tap your phone. People get close enough to that. They basically faking a transaction through your purse or through your pocket. But as far as the picture goes, I will never shame anybody for taking provocative photos of themselves, because you're free to do that. But if that is something that you want to do, and if it's definitely, if you're somehow in the public eye, you really need to make extra sure that precautions are being taken to make sure those photos don't see the light of day unless you yourself make them available. And by no stretch should you be someone that is in the public eye and sending your pictures to anybody. Not just because maybe you can't trust the person on the other end, but like you were saying, Ben, you definitely can't trust the people that might be intercepting these messages, through whatever means. So
like my last two ex-girlfriends. My last two ex-girlfriends was the perfect display of this. Every now and then they would send, sexy bikini photos and stuff like that. And I would text them back, like, don't send that. Wait till I get to your house or whatnot. And then I go like, but why? It's like, you never know. I could be some type of creep that can redistribute your pictures all over the internet. You never know, right? But you would never do that. But really. So, that's why I've taken upon myself to be extra responsible. And I tell them, don't do that. Let me see it live in flesh. You don't have to send me your pictures of your boobs, the side boob shirt, or whatever. Send me not safe for work pictures whenever I'm at work or whatever. Wait till I get there.
That's the best time to send the not safe for work pictures, is when you're at work.
And that's how people get blackmailed too.
It's true. Amber, what are your thoughts on the Velveteen Dreams Velveteen being out in the public?
Oh, God. I hope that's not the name of the episode.
It is now.
That's what you get for sending out dick pics.
And what about the added caveat that it was sent to a 17-year-old?
That's just nasty.
I mean,
how old is Velveteen Dream?
Isn't that the same thing that happened to James Ellsworth, too?
Yeah.
Who the hell would want to see James Ellsworth anything?
But he was proven not guilty of that, right?
I don't know. I never followed up on that.
Because nothing came of it.
I never even heard about it.
As far as I know.
Patrick Clark Jr. is 24 years old.
Same age as Paige, I think.
Okay, wait. Since when the hell is 17 a minor?
In some states.
You can't smoke, can't drink.
But in most states, you can legally have sex at 17. You can get married at 14 in Kentucky.
Yeah,
it's
there
the
are a
age
lot of different
difference
state laws.
of the penile picture, though. He's got a good 6 years on the person, so it could be considered statutory pornography or enticing a minor.
Now, I don't
Or
know
lewdness.
Not that it's entirely relevant. I'm just curious. The minor a boy or a girl?
Believe a female. If I'm not mistaken.
Because I'm just kind of thinking of the double standards of the situation.
Okay, reading a little bit further, apparently he sent the message to more than one person. He sent the picture to some of this girl's friends, allegedly sent the picture.
This is
Somebody
a
sent the picture.
real weird topic to bring up on a wrestling podcast.
And the friends are 15 and 16, so...
Okay, that's a little different.
Well, it's...
The friend shared it. She said, "Look, I got a picture of his pee-pee.
So you think
Wanna see?"
the person that received the pic showed
But here's
her
the thing.
friends-
Here's the thing, though. I just was looking up information of this for like the last 5 minutes.
Mhm.
Instead of alerting the authorities, this went to Reddit for like a solid 16 hours first.
Yeah.
Like this came out on Reddit before anything. No mention of being alerted to the authorities or whatsoever.
That's the other issue I had with it. I never even heard of authorities.
So
or
just
anything
like
being
the
involved.
James Ellsworth thing, you know, I don't think this is going to hold up any bearing of any extreme consequences.
Let me read
This
the
is
post
weird.
real quick. It says, Velveteen Dream hacked. He posted on his Instagram story that his DMs were open, and now he's genuinely sending my friends and I a message of a sexual nature. I'd like to think it's a hacker, but I don't know. How do I begin to approach this? How do I contact WWE? I have proof. Edit, here's the proof, link to the picture. Edit, he blocked me on Instagram after I wouldn't send him an uncensored nude pic back. Edit,
No.
I'm really worried about all this. Does anyone have legal advice or whatnot? I'm thinking of deleting this all
common
and getting it to
sense.
police instead. Edit, I'm 17, my friends are 15 and 16.
It's common sense.
He should ask Lars how that played out for him.
I will just say, who? Because he hasn't been seen for forever. But
If
yeah,
it's
Why
an
of all
unsolicited
places would you
dick
go
pic,
to ask
then they
for
should
advice
call
on
it
fucking
copies.
Reddit? My bad. Sorry, Josh.
it's okay. It's okay. So, but it is a good question. Why ask for legal advice on Reddit?
That almost comes off as, oh my god, I got dick pics, and oh my god, look at me, but now I don't know what to do now that I have them.
I mean, from
It's
the post,
blackmail.
it sounds
Yeah.
like she's just really confused based
No,
on the
it's
post.
blackmail. Confusion would be, I'm showing my parents call the cops. She went to Reddit. She's trying to blackmail him.
And I'm sorry, you're 17, you're not comfortable with the pictures of that nature. Why would you show your younger friends?
The hot thing is going viral will make you famous. I think that's what's
But
going
see,
on.
here's the thing. She's technically legally at 17 an adult. She can get in trouble for showing them that picture.
She's not legally an adult.
Distributing porn, though.
Yes, she is in that case. At 17, yes, she is.
No, legal adult is 18.
You can be
I'm pretty
charged
sure-
as an adult
She's still distributing pornographic images.
to a minor.
Of a pro wrestler.
Now,
I just need
I
to see
wonder
that
if his
just in case
dong was
somebody
little.
comes into the podcast
story
again.
goes-
What are they talking about?
the story goes that whoever sent the pictures originally also sent them to her friends.
Was his soldier at attention, or was he loosey-goosey?
You know, I don't know. There's a clown sticker covering it, and I'm thankful for that. So, I am not going to be searching for an unedited version of the picture to find out.
Next topic.
Okay, so we went on.
We spent
about
20 minutes talking about his
junk.
booba. Come on.
Okay, that's fine. We will move on from this. Hopefully, he'll be cleared of any wrongdoing because he is a joy to watch. But if it turns out he is guilty of something like this, see you in hell, man.
Is he still terrorizing the Undisputed Era on NXT?
Wow, don't everybody answer all at once.
Last I
seriously,
saw,
somebody
he had
answer.
that one dude's wife and son on his pants, and he was terrorizing the one champion from Undisputed Era, and I was thoroughly enjoying that.
Yeah, I am behind on my NXT a little bit. A week, I think. So Ben,
I haven't seen him mentioned in the recap, so I'm not sure what's up.
No, I haven't watched anything this week.
Okay. The only real other thing I have, I think, two really quick stories. There will be no WWE 2K game this year, and I think it has a lot to do with the last one being absolute garbage. Ben, you're also the video game expert on the show.
Yeah, I reported on this on my last episode 3 weeks ago, and only now that it's actually getting confirmed. But Kotaku actually posted this 3 weeks ago, saying that WWE 2K21 is not going to be a thing this year, and same thing for all EA Sports games, but that hasn't been confirmed. But that was actually part of the WWE moves, that because of the whole coronavirus thing, and pretty much every video game company is all being forced to work from home and stuff like that, and how delays can actually stack up if everybody can't actually work at the pace that they normally do. Video game launches are getting pushed back, and there are some games that, depending on how the sales are going for the previous game, for in this instance 2K20 didn't do well at all. They decided to cancel it, and they look like they might do the same for some of the EA Sports games. Not Madden, but like maybe NHL or some of the other games as well. Not just for sports games, but any type of game series that has yearly releases or releases from every 15 months. Not all of them will be able to put out a sequel this year, which is kind of sad.
Okay. Imagine we live in a world where there is no NFL, Madden 21 or sports games coming out because there's no sports. That'd be weird. But
I would just move over to MMOs.
By the way, just to throw this out there, UFC is coming to Jacksonville for the first time ever. No audience, of course, but next month they're going to be doing an event here in Florida because the governor has declared, these things are essential. Weird.
Yeah, that's why AEW is go back to doing live in 2 weeks. No crowds, but they're going to be shooting live Dynamite again in a 2 weeks or so.
The last story I have for the night, by the way, congratulations to AEW for going in live. That's always awesome. But the last
they're going to be
story,
doing at Daisy's place where you're at.
Daly's
Yeah. Place. Yeah.
The last story is a bit of a sports story also, because Gronk has signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I know what you guys out there in audio land are thinking, what does this have to do with wrestling? And I swear it is relevant because, if I'm not mistaken, isn't he the current WWE 24/7 champion?
Did you see my tweet yesterday or 2 days ago?
No, I didn't.
I posted so Gronk embarrassed himself in WWE at WrestleMania to the point where he doesn't want to wrestle anymore, so now he was going to go back to football.
So he's going to leave wrestling as a champion?
Probably.
Or maybe
Look, I think he's only going to do it for 1 year because let's face it, Tom Brady being in Tampa Bay for me it's a one and done situation. In my opinion, but you got other guys coming out of retirement to play with Tom Brady in Tampa Bay for 1 year, like Pat McAfee. Did you hear that? You seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's seriously trying to, get in football shape and sign with Tampa Bay for 1 year as their punter.
That I don't know what's going on in the NFL, man. Between the virus and Tom Brady as a Buccaneer, this world's gone topsy-turvy. And now that could you imagine how big it would be if, the Tampa Bay Bucks are playing and Gronk gets tackled and suddenly, people jump on top of him and the ref just drops to the ground, hits the 3, and we have a new champion.
Look, let's just be thankful that Titus O'Neil did not suit up for the Tampa Bay Vipers for the XFL this season because he was seriously thinking about doing that.
XFL, rest in peace.
I know, that sucks, dude.
Well, it's the 60-minute mark for the Backstage Slam, episode number 189. When we come back next week, it'll be episode 190. Hopefully, we'll have more front of camera stuff to talk about. Hopefully, we'll have something good to talk about. So before we go, I'm just going to first send it over to Anna. Anna, is there anything you want to plug, promote, anything like that?
No, I don't think so. Unless you want to give me another 60 seconds to talk about Total Divas.
So the answer is no, Amber.
Wait, I want to hear what she has to say about Total Divas. 60 seconds, go.
Thanks, Amber. No, it's actually really good. It's a completely different perspective. The Bellas are human. Like, I'm actually starting to like them, and it's scaring the ever-loving crap out of me. Because they're just, I don't know, they're not what I perceived at all. John Cena's a giant dick, I can tell you that. I've spent
You must
a
be
season
watching
and a half
those
wanting to punch him in
episodes.
the face.
Yeah, she's on season 2. Are you on season 2 again?
Yeah, I'm on season 2.
Oh, no wonder.
Yeah, I was in Georgia for a week and fell down a rabbit hole that was Total Divas and the road trip and a little bit of Table for 3 and yeah, I am now hooked on Total Divas. We're like an old married couple screaming at the TV because hell, people are dumb.
I just feel the need to remind you that you do know it's fake, right?
As are all reality shows, but it does not stop them from becoming enjoyable rabbit
Can
holes.
I tell you what reality shows I was watching and binging this week while I was sick?
Oh, do tell.
Viva La Bam and CKY.
Okay.
Dude, I love Viva La Bam.
Bam Margera.
I love Viva La Bam. I don't know what the other one is, though.
They're
Always
coming back.
great,
Jackass is coming back for a new season.
CKY was if I'm not mistaken, it was the predecessor to Jackass.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
And it's also...
Wait, did you say they're coming back for another season of
Yeah,
Jackass?
Jackass is coming. I think I might have read it wrong while I was on meds, but it's either a new season or a new movie. Knoxville and the gang are coming back.
Okay, no disrespect to any of them. Love the cast of Jackass, especially Steve-O. They all old as hell. They're gonna die.
Well, yeah.
There's a novelty in that, though.
Like, seriously, they're gonna break some shit that ain't gonna heal right this time.
Well, that would make it worth watching, I think. By the
Now,
way,
if they want to pull like a King of the Hills, kick back, drink beers, watch other people do stupid shit, I'm good with that.
What if they were, like, What if they turned it into a reality show where each guy has a team of future idiots in training, and at the end of it, whoever wins gets like $100,000 and their medical bills covered.
That would be freaking hilarious. I do like watching ridiculousness too, so I mean, yeah, I'd be okay with that.
And start writing me a check, Johnny Knoxville, because you also need to talk to Billy Joe Armstrong, Mike Dirt, and Trey Cool, so you can call it American Idiot. Give me money.
That would be great.
All right, Ben, I know it's been a while since you've, gotten your plugs in. I did make sure to plug everything at the beginning of the show, but why don't you tell everybody how people can find you on social media and Twitch?
I'll just plug Twitter at YoBroMMO. I'm not going to be twitching for the next couple of days, probably not until next week. I'm just going to go back laying down and continue watching Netflix or whatever. My fever went down, so that's good.
That is good. Very happy
101.3. It went down by 1.1 degrees.
That's good. Have you taken anything?
Just Tylenol.
I know what else he's taken.
I hear Clorox and Lysol help.
I've heard that too, actually.
Oh God.
Like straight in the vein, you're good to go.
I woke up this morning and that's the first thing I asked Josh on Discord was, did Trump really say something like that?
Sort of, kind of. I'm not really sure. I'm hearing conflicted reports on that, but there's
I
some
looked at the
dumb
video.
shits
I was
in-
laughing.
There's some dumb shits in this ridiculous state that I live in because guess what? There's people somewhere in New York that are drinking fucking bleach.
Yeah, I saw that story. People are dropping like flies because it was recommended that they ingest disinfectant. And do I mean to laugh? Yes. Yes, I will always
It's
laugh.
Darwinism at its finest.
It's exactly the kind of thing that made Johnny Knoxville's career, but I don't think even he would be that stupid. Alligators on the
No.
testicles? Yeah, sure. Ingesting disinfectant, Johnny Knoxville is probably like, no, man, that's stupid.
Yeah. Like, dude had common sense to the teeniest degree, but like, normally this crazy shit comes out of your state, Josh.
Yep. Florida man's off the hook this time.
I'm kind of
speaking
curious
of-
if these dumbasses are from Florida since they're all coming back here.
Really, because everyone here is like, when are all these stupid New Yorkers going to get off our beaches?
Hey, they're on
Weird.
my beaches now.
Okay, finally, I guess there's me. You can find me on Twitter at SkidComic. I do a little bit of twitching every now and then, so
Well, screw you too.
Right?
Yeah, you skipped
Well-
her.
she yielded her time to Anna to talk about Total Divas.
Oh,
Bitch.
Because it's a good show. Shut up.
I am.
I never thought I'd utter those words.
Do you have a closing thought that you'd like to throw out there, Amber?
Binge watching Judge Judy. Go Judge Judy. Yay.
You know what? That sounds good. I've watched 28 seasons of The Simpsons so far. So yeah, maybe Judge Judy should be on the calendar.
Her announcer lady died. I saw that earlier today.
Oh, you got to bring us down, man.
I'm sorry.
Find me on Twitch, SkidComic. I don't just do Apex or anything. like
Josh
that.
was cheating on Apex. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I actually have been playing a little bit of Call of Duty.
He was being hard carried by 15-year-olds on his team.
Josh!
After the Velveteen story, could you not phrase it like that? Patreon, YoBro MMO. For just $1 a month, you can help make dreams come true. And if you want to join the conversation, like Amber and Anna both did,
with all the mentions of penises and the F words, I'm definitely going to have to add some special tags during the edits for Patreon.
They, oh God. They started
It's
out
Velveteen.
listening to the show, and now here they are, part of the show. So join the conversation over there on Discord.
Join our Discord. We'll put links on all of our social. We'll put it on all of our Twitters.
Yo, bro.
We'll put the link on all of our Twitters.
And I'm just going to go ahead and real quick plug. Last night, I did the second episode of my new podcast, The Wadcast. It stands for Writers, Actors, and Directors. It was a really good interview, pre-recorded. Unfortunately, we couldn't line up the schedules, but pre-recorded interview with, and I'm legally obligated to say it this way, Emmy Award winner Mark Hensley. He talked about his career in the business, entertainment business, and gave some advice to anybody else that's trying to break in. So that's worth a check out. It's called The Wadcast, WADCAST, available wherever you find all of your fine podcasts. So that's going to do it for us here tonight. We went 70 minutes, so yeah, it's a good time to say goodnight. So for everybody here at the Backstage Slam, thank you, and we will see you next week. Ben, there's only one thing left to say.
What's up, Doc?
Too sweet.